And we're back from our halftime break. We are excited to bring you a full second half of Carmel football action. I have a new person with me. Well, he's done it before. It's Brian Rada.
Yeah. Hey, glad to be back, folks. I was absent the last home game. I had a previous conflict, but happy to be back for this one and really looking forward to this second half.
Yeah. Should be a great one. We got a close game here, 10-7 in favor of St. Viator. All the players are getting warmed up, and we should be starting this half pretty soon here. The alarm going off right now, so it'll be very interesting second half of football. Anything you're looking out for in this half?
Specifically, Carmel's got to stop number 9, Colkmet, for St. Viator. Yeah. They've actually been doing a good job of hitting him early. The problem is getting him down. Yeah. They've hit him early, but then he's dragged him for 5, sometimes 10 yards. So tackle him early, which they have been doing, but make the tackle. That'll shut down a lot of St. Viator's offense. Carmel's been doing a decent job stopping the Viator run. And then the offense, they just got to do what they did on the first drive. That first drive was very impressive. They were an unstoppable train, as some in the student section were calling it. After that, they kind of stalled a little bit, but I think they'll get back to what they did on that first drive.
And I think partly we saw in that second quarter where St. Viator was able to stop them, you saw stacking the box. I mean, you saw 8 or 9 players in the box waiting for the run every time. And threw it a couple times. You saw one great completion to Zaire Barnes on the right side of the field, but not a lot else. I mean, there were some attempts.
Carmel is not, passing is not Carmel's strength on offense. But they have been trying to mix it up tonight, which is a good thing. However, when quarterback Jeremy Strutzel, sorry, 1 second. We have a shout out to do. Zach Schroeder in Toledo, Ohio. Thank you so much for listening and very, very happy birthday. We've got some fans here in the stands who informed us, so very, very happy birthday.
Always welcome taking any shout outs that the fans have. Truly, it's a great time. And happy birthday to Zach.
Yes. Back to the Corsair offensive plan here. It's going to be a little interesting to see if they stick with that pass. It's good to mix it up, but when quarterback Jeremy Strutzel doesn't have any time to pass, it's not going to work. They did have that one nice completion, but every time they've dropped back to pass, Strutzel's been under pressure almost immediately and to his blind side. Yeah. So they got to be careful with the football because St. Viator is stacking the box almost every time. So stick with the run. They've been pretty successful, especially when they run it to the outside. I think a few more of those, and they should be in good shape here.
Yeah. Yep, that one scary play where a St. Viator defender was able to get off that edge. Really hit Strutzel hard on that blind side. Luckily, the play did not end up in anything.
In any turnover for the Corsairs, which was a fumble or interception. So, yeah, that was good. I think it'll see St. Viator's going to get the ball here to start the second half. If Carmel can get a good stop, which, Carmel was able to get a good stop down in the red zone the last time. But
so these guys Barbecue Productions, they're out third lane.
Can we do it?
Carmel bread is one.
And we have an ad coming in from a fan. This game is brought to you by Welltower Inc. When you think REIT, think Welltower. So that is great. And when you think Carmel offense, what do you think?
I think that they've just got to get it going here. Fast and hard, hit the ground running. They were getting like 7, 8 yards of carry on that first drive. Keep that going, and we'll be good. I also want to say, I think it's great that the fans here are interacting with us. That's where we got that shout out and a couple sponsors. It's great when we love the fans interact, and this crowd is hyped.
Yes.
Baker Stadium is full. The parking lots were full early.
Oh, yeah.
People came out in droves for this game, not only because St. Viator is our main rival, but because it is homecoming.
Homecoming game.
So, second
on the grass. Everywhere they can.
Oh, yeah. So Matt Helen is here about to kick off the second half. Corsairs are lined up, and we are underway.
Second half.
Send deep.
That one's going to go right to the end zone. Not a loss for St. Viator to be returning on that one. They'll get the ball about 20 and start their drive there. So it'll be interesting to see if St. Viator changes up anything, but it does look like their offense was rolling at the end of that first half.
Yeah, it definitely was. Again, like I said, Carmel had a great stop down in the red zone to hold them to a field goal, which was extremely important, keeping this a 3-point game. If they can hold St. Viator here, maybe a 3 and out or only 1 first down, I think momentum starts to swing to our side.
Gets the snap. And
Right. Snap, and it's for about a short gain. Not much there for St. Viator.
That's what Carmel's got to keep doing.
Yeah.
Short gains on especially first and second. Force St. Viator to throw on third. Their quarterback hasn't looked extremely comfortable here in this setting yet, except for when he's been passing to Kmet.
But those are shorter.
Those are short, exactly. When he's forced to throw downfield, he has not looked comfortable, and his passes have not been on target for the most part.
That's definitely true.
Three receiving options.
This is some movement coming out of both sides. Delonte Jackson taking that one, bouncing it to the outside for about 6 yards on that play to the right side of the field. But still stopping for the first down, and now we have third down coming up.
Yep, third down and short. St. Viator should have a lot of their playbook open here. I think that we'll be seeing a run from the Lions, or I would not be surprised with a screen pass to one of their large wide receivers.
One of many. Do see him in the shotgun, giving it off to Delonte Jackson, who looks like he picks up the first down.
It's going to be close. They are going to give it.
So a good effort by Carmel, but just not enough on that one.
He had a handful and he just nearly stopped them.
You know what? That was a good series. I like that from the Corsair defense. No big plays, small chunks of yards. That's what they got to keep the Lions to.
Yeah.
Carmel, tight football game here. Down 7-10.
St. Viator not getting these yards easy.
Trying to get it out.
We see a little bit of movement, but nothing to call there. A run play right up the middle, 6 or 7 yards.
Man, that was a good play from the Lions and their running back. The Corsairs have struggled a little bit on defense. They haven't been bad. Struggled a little bit, especially when St. Viator has been running a lot of plays in a row.
Yeah.
So if they can start stopping the run, get a few losses. You know what has been good? St. Viator's been very clean. No penalties and no turnovers.
Yeah. All right, now we do see a deep pass play all the way down deep, and that is far off the receiver.
And you know what? That's about the third or fourth pass that's been way off the mark from the Lions quarterback. He and his receivers are just not on the same page on those pass plays.
Bryce Helgeth, the QB for the Lions here tonight. Not really on point when it comes down to passing downfield.
But he's got a good arm.
Yeah.
He's been throwing it well, but he's been missing his routes with his receivers.
And there has been a couple times where it's either been a miscommunication or it was a drop in the red zone earlier in the first half. So a couple missed opportunities for the Lions here. But now we do see a quarterback keep coming out of Helgett. He gets the first down and a little bit more on that play. Defense needs to come up with some stops.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned with what I've seen so far. Again, no big plays.
Very conservative offense.
Yeah, from the Lions. They're only on their own 43-yard line. So they've got a lot of field to still work with. This is actually turning in a lot like the Corsairs opening drive. Slow, methodical, small chunks of yards down the field.
From the 20-yard line. Monte Jackson wrapped up for about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Not much there. So St. Viator sticking with that run on first down. Carmel usually pretty good about stopping that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting 3 or 4 yards, and obviously if you're getting 3 or 4 yards on first and second down, you get third and short. So it's a good game plan from the Lions, and maybe they're going to throw a pass play in here once in a while, so we'll see what they do.
Not too shabby at all. All right. The quarterback takes it for himself. Again, that is Bryce Pelligot on the carry.
One criticism I have of the Corsair defense so far is their tackling. They've been getting through the line, they've been getting to the ball carrier, but they have not tackled particularly well. If they can start getting some of these tackles down, it's going to be, you're going to have those third and long situations that St. Viator is uncomfortable with.
And obviously, in the first half, we saw a lot of missed tackles on Cole Kmet on the wide receiver screens, which, you know, when he's a 6'5", huge wide receiver coming at you, it's a hard tackle. But we did see that one case where the quarterback just dumped it off to Delonte Jackson, the running back, and he was able to break a tackle and pick up a crucial first down. All right, now it is a screen pass to the left side of the field.
And that was good tackling by the Corsairs. They hit him early and they stopped him right in his tracks. That was a good play.
I think that came from definitely during the break in the second or in the halftime. You saw one player, stop him, slow him down. Obviously, it's really hard to tackle him, but you saw droves of Carmel defenders all helping out on that tackle. So definitely a different philosophy. All right, in the shotgun, Helget. All right, he takes the snap and throws it out to his right side. But that is another drop coming out of Mark Clark.
And that is his second major drop. Remember, the first one was on the 1 yard line. He would have been in for a touchdown right before halftime. Pass was right to him and he dropped it. Again, they run a good play here. He is wide open, about to get the first down, and just drops the ball.
And see, those are some good throws coming out of Helget, just not able to pull him down. And that's got to be frustrating for the whole offense, right? I mean,
extremely.
You get a good play, you get an open read, you get a good pass.
And now you're forced into 3rd and 10.
All right.
Carmel comes with pressure.
Getting to the quarterback. Let's get rid of it. And it is a catch. Let's see if it's enough for first down.
No, it's going to be well short. It's going to be about 4th and 5.
Wow.
There was pressure quick from the Corsairs there.
Pretty incredible that he even got that pass off.
It was impressive. The referees are huddling. Not sure if there was a penalty on the play. We'll wait and see here.
Multiple players getting to the quarterback. One player of note, John Ivan, number 69, almost sacking the quarterback on that play. Close one.
It is a penalty on the Lions. I believe the Corsairs are going to decline the penalty because it is 4th and 5. But I believe the Lions wide receiver went out of bounds and came back in. The referee's hat was off, so I believe that's what it was. But either way, it is 4th and long here, I believe. Mm-hmm. They have not changed the down marker yet.
Yeah.
The referee is explaining the call to Lions head coach.
Are you enjoying this All-Star Catholic High School football game of the week? Did you know that you can listen to it again later on demand?
A little bit of confusion here on the refs.
Click on listen and programming. That's WSFI-CatholicRadio.org. Listen.
And it's going to be 4th and 10, and St. Viator's going to go for it. Wow.
We've seen a kick before like that. We do see see it, but it is short.
Oh, good punt.
Great bounce.
Great bounce for the Lions.
And about like the 15-yard line. So that's a good bounce for that kick.
Second time we've seen that formation. Quick snap and then punt from the quarterback, who is also their punter, it appears, or can at least punt it pretty well. That's going to be a good neck gain. Push the Corsairs back. And let's see if Carmel can work it down the field a little bit. Defense came up with a good stop. And we'll see if they can get back to their grinded out ways.
Yes, they're grinded out ways for sure. Strutzel with the pitch play to Miles Jamil. He is able to beat the defender to the outside. And picks up a nice gain on that play.
That's going to be a first down for Carmel. Very nice run by Jamil.
He juked inside, just one little stutter step, which allowed him to get around the defender.
And again, outside success. Corsairs are faster than these Lions defenders, so when they get to the outside, they can outrun them. So I think that's going to be a play that needs to be utilized more here in the second half.
Very nice effort from Miles Jamil. Beat that defender around the edge. Pick up that first down. And now on first down, Strutzel takes the snap.
Some movement going on.
If he wants to. Jair Barnes in motion.
Snap. Looks like he's going to take it for himself.
Fumble. It is picked up and recovered. Number 5, Miles Jamil on the recovery. He's pretty lucky coming out of Carmel.
Yeah, lucky they got the ball back and they got a first down out of it. So
look at that.
Quick moving of the ball here, but a little careless there. Got to be careful. You don't want to kill any momentum we have here with any turnovers. So, but so far, again, like I said, both teams very clean, very few penalties, no turnovers.
Towards Viator territory.
Find it out, like you said, playing very disciplined football. Miles Jamil on the pitch play. He has room to run. Beats the defender to the outside. He's running down the sideline. Picks up almost 40 yards off the play.
Another first down, and again, to the outside, beating the Lions defenders. This is working for them. They are running it beautifully. I think they just keep doing this, and they're going to be fine.
Yeah, and now I think they can kind of hit them with a change of pace. Run up the middle with Tariq Abrams.
Exactly. Lions might go a little.
But just as we're calling Carmel's offense moving back due to a flag.
Holding penalty, I believe. And that is a killer. We've seen this a lot from the Corsairs. We saw it once in the first half on that seemingly touchdown run called back by a penalty. Another nice run here, but it's going to be 1st and 20 from their own 31-yard line.
Really starting to kill Carmel. Hopefully it doesn't kill the drive. Jeremy Strutzel drops back to throw.
That is a first down. That was a great catch by number 4, Chanel Green. That has been Strutzel's favorite receiver, favorite target all year. And man, that was such a nice job by Green getting open on that pass and picking up the first down.
Strutzel with a great throw. He's been throwing great. He's been running great tonight. And that is huge for the Carmel offense.
Yeah, this crowd's really getting excited. You can feel the momentum building with this drive. Even that penalty didn't set them back.
Energy in the players, in the stands here, and in the box up here. I am hyped. Strutzel hands it off right up the middle. Tariq Abrams for about 3 yards on that run.
Again, much like the Lions offense, good little gain on first down. Keep running it. I expect them to go to the outside, either on second or third down here. But yeah, looking real good on this drive, I have to say.
Carmel has the ball at Viator 40-yard line around the move.
So the ball is sitting on the St. Viator 40-yard line. There's just under 6 minutes left here in the third quarter of the 2016 homecoming game for the Carmel Corsairs.
Yep.
Movement on the line.
Some movement. Unsure. Strutzel does give it to Zaire Barnes for 1 or 2 yards.
Barnes had to fight for those yards. He was hit behind the line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 here. Big play for Carmel.
Yeah.
I would expect to play to the outside because that's where they've had success. But maybe they find something up the middle or with that triple option. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, and definitely 1st down or at least a field goal on this drive would be pretty crucial because the punt team hasn't looked great so far.
No.
Providers.
Alright, so not a lot to pick up on that down.
This is definitely 4-down territory. Andy Bitto is an aggressive coach.
I expect the Corsairs to go for it here. I wish they had gotten a little more on 3rd down there if this was 4-down territory, but it's going to be 4th and 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be a solid 3. Big play here for the Corsairs.
Big. The stands are rumbling. The crowd is into it. This would be huge for Carmel Corsair offense. Can they get it? Strutzel gives it to Tariq. And he's dragging players all the way down for 15 yards. That is a great play from Tariq.
Huge play. Tariq is a beast. He is dragging defenders all the way down. The ball is now at the St. Viator 21-yard line, more than enough for the 1st down.
A very nice hole in that play.
Yeah, real nice hole created by the offensive line.
Really good. Again, these fans are getting into it. It is an exciting place to be now in the St. Viator red zone. Strutzel hands it off.
Maybe it's
Only
short game.
a couple yards on the play. Again, they've gone up the middle the last 4 or 5 plays in a row. Try going to the outside again. I'd like to see that. Especially, you want to come away with the touchdown here in the red zone. You don't want to get held up to a field goal.
Huge.
Carry out the fake after the handoff. So that might just be a straight.
Strutzel playing very well tonight with not only the passes and the runs, but just making all those reads is really important when running this read option.
Strutzel
taking the ball, and it is off to number 26, Noah Hickman with the reception.
It's going to be at about the 6 or 7 yard line. I have not seen Carmel pass the ball this well I haven't seen them attempt this many passes in a very long time. They are moving it efficiently downfield. They're not passing a lot, but they are mixing it up when they do, and it is working very well.
Yeah, certainly. When they do, it is working very well. Very interesting to see. I would think this would be a run. Strutzel takes it himself, gets it to the edge.
It's going to be out at about it's going to be the 2-yard line. Good run by Strutzel there. This is where I'd like to see the Corsairs go up the middle. Just run it up their throat. It's only 2nd down. You got 2 tries, probably 3 because they'll go for it.
Just 3. No turnovers. No fumbling. Keep 2 hands on that ball.
Exactly.
All times.
Yeah.
I say that affection.
referencing the quarterback for the All-State championship team.
All right. We do see Carmel's offense again. Strutzel the pitch play to Mouser Mill.
Oh no!
Not much to be had there, and that is a tackle loss. Good play by St. Viator.
And that's where I don't want the Corsairs going to the outside. Just run it up the middle. You're on the 2-yard line. You have enough power backs and a good enough line to get it in. I don't think you need to go for the outside, and the Lions sniffed that out right away.
And I think that's probably because we saw in the first half with Carmel's first touchdown, it was a pitch play to Zaire Barnes on the outside. So
yeah,
trying to replicate that success. St. Viator was ready for it though in this attempt.
So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Andy Bitto calls up here on 3rd down.
3rd and goal, huge play. Strutzel takes it himself. Gets taken down quick and St. Viator. Great goal line red zone defense.
Yeah, that was a poor showing from the Carmel offense in the red zone, but credit to St. Viator, they held them, and now the Corsairs will try to tie this game up with a field goal here. Should only be about a 30, just inside a 30-yard field goal.
well within Matt Hellen's capabilities. We'll see, though. These boys, St. Viator, I mean, they've already blocked the punt, so
Yes, they have.
it'll be interesting.
Strutzel receives it.
And Helen,
And the kick is good.
we have a 10-8. Unfortunately, Carmel wasn't able to capitalize off the energy coming from the stands and the players,
But you know what? They've held the Lions the past couple drives. They just made an impressive drive down the field. So again, I think they have some momentum here. I don't at all. I mean, although it would have been nice to have a touchdown, they got points, which was important. This is a tie game, and we'll see if this Corsair defense can do its job.
He's a wonderful man, but everything is just booty chains, booty chains. Yeah.
See about that. He's got 5 little guys.
it'll be very interesting
Yeah, he walks back and forth.
to watch St. Viator's offense work.
Yes, he does.
Maybe if they adjust to anything that Carmel's defense is doing, because
I know why
it wasn't a very impressive showing for their first series.
No, they got a couple first downs off that grinded 3 and 4 yard run plays. But when it started falling apart was when they tried to pass it, especially downfield. It did not work well for them. So we'll see how much they try to pass the ball here on this next drive.
Yeah, all right, and now we do see Matt Helen getting ready for this kick. He already has an extra point and a field goal down. So he's got some confidence coming into this kick.
He's been one of the Corsairs' most consistent players all year.
Yeah,
Short throw.
that one
Nicely placed.
is out. But St. Viator's player knocked it out of bounds.
But I believe the referee is going to call a penalty on Carmel for kicking the ball out of bounds.
The ball was going to go out of bounds.
Whatever reason,
But the St. Viator player
swatted out of bounds.
tapped it, so it did go out of bounds.
This is strange. The St. Viator player
Well placed kick.
hit the ball out of the air, out of bounds. It was not out of bounds yet, but the referees still called a penalty for the out-of-bounds kick on the Corsairs. And I'm not sure what the rule is on that,
I don't know
but
about that.
that was a little bit of a questionable ruling by our referee crew here. Carmel is going to re-kick.
Redo the kick.
Hey, Coach.
Is apparently the call.
A couple fellows to our right. Handsome young guys. And who are these guys?
I'm Brian, and this is Will.
And Will?
Brian and Will. They're students at Carmel. They're doing the game for Carmel UT. Fellas, what's your last name? Brian what?
And Will Hedges.
Brian?
A-R-A-T-A.
And Will Hedges.
So guys, glad to be up here with y'all.
Yeah, thanks for sharing the booth with us.
Good job.
Yeah,
You guys are very good.
Yeah, you better bring some luck.
Smart introductions.
Right. Do you see the re-kick coming in? Matt Helen.
Place.
This time, St. Viator is going to take it. And he's out at around the 30-yard line.
good kickoff there. Was good, well placed. St. Viator will have decent field position to start here.
That seems about where St. Viator has been starting their drives.
Yes.
Around between the 30 and the 40. Carmel usually starting their drives at about the 20.
Yeah, yeah. They have a little farther to go each time, so I can see the offense, especially quarterback Jeremy Strutzel, working hard with the either quarterback coach, offensive coordinator on what they're going to do on the next drive. Because the next drive, regardless of what happens here with St. Viator, is going to be very important.
Very significant drive coming up for both teams.
Handoff.
Hand off to the right side. Not much to gain there, about 2 or 3 yards.
Good tackle by the Corsairs, yeah. Short gain. And that's the kind of tackles they were missing in the first half that they are now making. So, good signs there.
He gets a little bit of play for St. Viator Lions, but this is their real guy, is Durante Jackson.
It's a bit of a cool night here at Baker Stadium. A little bit cooler than it's been usually, but extremely comfortable, beautiful night for our homecoming game.
Great football weather.
Oh,
mark it down.
Sicko came up with a quick watch. It was all over that.
Oh,
I believe he was down, but Carmel seemed to think they came away with the fumble.
Hoping it's a Carmel fumble.
that got me.
Yeah, they ruled him down.
Very close to a fumble.
Real
Sequel
close
on that
fumble.
tackle, though. A great
Yeah.
tackle for loss.
Yeah, great play by the Corsair defense that lost on the play. So it's going to be 3rd and 10. We'll see what St. Viator draws up here.
He isn't shotgun. He is looking to pass. He's already in the backfield, but he is able to dump it off.
Yes. Nick Snarski was in the backfield in a flash, forced a quick pass from number 14, Bryce Halligath, and Corsairs came up with a nice tackle on the short pass.
Yeah, that is, once again, Nick Snarski able to get great pressure on the quarterback, forcing that short throw.
Tacklers kept him from getting the first down.
So Carmel's going to get the ball back here, barring some fake punt or turnover.
And it does look like St. Viator is in their punt formation.
Oh, that was a poor
Line
punt.
drive punt.
Oh, Carmel fields the punt.
Ryan Julian able to juke out one of the runners.
Wow. Nice return by Julian there. He let that ball bounce for a while and juked a couple defenders. Carmel's going to start with great field position on their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, a strange line drive punt. Ryan Julian, not phased though, able to recover and juke out a player for about 20, 15 yards on the return.
Yeah, very nice return there. So there's 36 seconds here left in the 3rd quarter. This game looks like another classic between these two teams. I got to tell you, these games in the past 3 years I've been here have all been extremely close. Always competitive.
Yeah.
Huge rivals here, so very excited to see the end of this game.
Sure to be an exciting finish in this one.
Now this game also has huge implications, not only because it's the Corsairs' homecoming game. This has playoff implications for the Corsairs. If they win, they're at 3-2. They only need 2 more wins on the year to make the playoffs. So, as important as it is to get a nice homecoming win over your rival, this game definitely has playoff implications for both teams.
5 seconds left in the half.
It's going to be a game that will be intensively fought for. In this one, Tariq Abrams on the carry, only able to pick up a couple yards on that one.
Decent carry. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Corsairs lining up. I expect more running, either up the middle. It's going to be up the middle. And stop for only a gain of 1 or 2. Yeah. So that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Corsairs scored a field goal in that quarter. The Lions did not score. So we are sitting at 10-all, heading into what should be a really exciting 4th quarter. Not many folks have left at all. This stadium is still rocking, ready to explode, I think, for a big play.
Ready to explode is the right word. We need a great play from Abrams or Max Carmel on the outside.
And I want to
even a Chenille Green pack.
Yeah, and I want to remind the audience, coming into this week, it looked pretty dismal for the Corsairs with Rondell Jameson going out with a foot injury. Most people thought this Corsair offense was one-dimensional, revolving around him, but they've showed that they can fight, and they have a ton of grit without him, and they are moving the ball very well.
And I think, obviously, Tariq Abrams is taking some of the duties up the middle, but I think you're seeing a lot more plays to the outside with Miles and Zaire, that dual threat on the outside. I think that's been more important to the Carmel coaches with Rondell's unfortunate injury. So, we do see Carmel's offense coming out. They are on St. Viator's side of the field at 49-yard line.
Key 3rd down and 4 here.
Yeah. Shelton takes the snap, gives it to Zaire Barnes, who turns off field for a nice gain of about 10 yards or so.
Very nice 1st down. Corsairs Ran a lot of trick handoffs there on that play. The Lions were a little confused on who had the ball. Great play called up by Coach Andy Bitto there on third down, and the Corsairs will continue this drive.
He went down position. No contact, but it's a good run.
Coach, I think through the rest of the season,
So a very important third down is able to be converted by this Carmel offense. See what they do on first down. I expect a run.
I would expect nothing less.
To receiving options.
Zaire in motion in the backfield. Jeremy Strutzel takes it himself to the outside.
Wow, real nice game.
And a great run. These stands are rumbling.
Inside the 30-yard line of St. Viator, and you can feel the momentum building with this drive for the Corsairs.
Two nice plays in a row. These fans are excited. These players are excited. And I don't see St. Viator stopping them, at least until we get into that red zone.
It's absolutely huge. It's a force.
Yeah, so Corsairs lined up on the 28-yard line of St. Viator.
All right. Zaire Florence takes the ball.
There is a holding penalty on the Corsairs. This is the... And, you know, I gotta say, these referees are not doing such a good job tonight. This is getting to be a little ridiculous with these penalties. St. Viator hasn't had a single hold all night, but it seems like whenever the Corsairs come up with a big play, it's being called back with the hold. That is...
it's a little interesting.
That is extremely disappointing, to say the least, because that was such a great run.
He exploded through that hole.
And everyone got up on their feet.
Oh, wow.
But you got to look at what you got. You can't challenge a penalty. You got to take what you got. It's first down and 20. They're still inside the 40-yard line. They got to keep this drive going.
All right, see if they can bounce back from that. Strutzel giving it up to Tariq Abrams up the middle for a decent gain, but wow.
Man, that is a tough penalty to come back from.
That is, I think, three.
It's three.
Plays.
It's three ginormous plays that have been called back. Two of them were touchdowns. Now, on the first drive, Carmel was still able to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
But it's going to be second down and 12 here. Not undoable for this Corsair offense. They are definitely capable, so we'll see.
All right, Strutzel hands it off to doesn't get much on that one.
No, not much there by Trammell. It's going to be third and 10, which is not what the Corsairs are really comfortable with. But you know what? They've been pretty good on third down so far tonight, so we'll see.
The passing game has looked pretty good. So
I'd expect a run here because I think St. Viator would be expecting a pass, and when they're expecting it, I don't think it would work so well for the Corsairs. So third and 10, could call it third and 11. We'll see what Corsairs drop here.
Ostermill in motion. Jeremy Strutzel. He does roll out for the pass. It's down the middle of the field. He had Chanel Green.
He was out of reach, and now, what do you do if you're Carmel? You are probably a little outside of Matt Hellen's range, but you're on the 28-yard line. You can't punt the ball. Maybe go for it here. But, you also have to wonder, if you were planning on going for it, why not just get 5 yards on third down, make it a more doable fourth? Well, needless to say, big play here. Only 9.5 minutes left in the game. This game is ticking down quickly. And you don't want, one big Lions play to be the difference in the game here. So you want to score if you're Carmel. So 4th and 10, Strutzel lined up in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's passing.
He throws it down the left side of the field. Almost intercepted. Chanel Green has to put the defender on it.
They were trying to force that pass. That pass was never there. And that's what I was afraid was going to happen if the Corsairs passed too much. So it's going to be up to the Corsair defense. St. Viator fans are coming to life. They are excited about that stop by their defense. But, folks, let's not forget, this Corsair crowd is still here in full force. They are ready. This defense has looked good in the second half.
Got a good one.
Crushing blow for that entire offense on another play taken back by a penalty. We do see a pitch play to the left side of the field. Delonte Jackson taking the ball.
Taken down.
Good gain there, about 6 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 on the St. Viator 35-yard line.
Quarterback stepped up.
I also want to mention the Corsairs a little banged up on defense. Number 3, George Curran, is playing with a broken thumb. He's got it taped up, but he's not at his full capability.
Yeah.
And they've had a lot of injuries all year on this defense, so it'd be big if they could come up with a stop here.
Almost a big play coming out. Definitely a good defensive play to stop that one, but
Corsair sniffed that option out beautifully. It almost was a fumble. Good play, but got to get up for another big one. It is 3rd down and 4. Corsairs players trying to get this crowd riled up, get loud, get a stop on this 3rd down, and needless to say, this is huge.
yeah, very big play. The stands are rumbling. He is in the shotgun. Play action pass, roll out to his right side, down the field, looking for number 4.
Yes.
Coverage.
Great coverage. Pass was out of bounds, even if the receiver caught it. That was targeted to number 4, Mark Clark. Covered by the Corsairs extremely well. And that's a 3 and out for this Corsair defense. I am extremely impressed with what I am seeing from them.
Again, we see Carmel secondary, tried and true, doing a great job in this game.
And you know, this defense did a great job against Nazareth last week. I think they held them to 10 points. Really good on the road. Yep. Obviously much improved from the DeKalb performance a few weeks ago, and even the Marist one.
Must have been a wake-up call for them.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Brian Julian muffs the punt.
Does take it back, though. It's going to get a little bit.
You know, if he had made that catch, he had room to work with to run upfield, but either way.
Luckily, there was a speed right there.
Right. I think Julian was caught off guard by how well the punt was from St. Viator, because so far their punts have not been very long. This one had great hang time, so Corsairs are pushed back in their own zone. There is an injured St. Viator player on the play.
Never good to see.
I'm not sure what number it is, but he is laying down on the field, and we'll see.
Getting checked out by the trainers. So military pause. And the goal piece
Now this is important here for Carmel. That opening drive in the first quarter, that took, I'm not sure the exact amount of time. It took 7 or 8 minutes off the clock. There are only 8.5 minutes left on this clock. Now granted, St. Viator has all 3 of their timeouts. Corsairs do too if need be. But they may need a slight sense of urgency because you have a feeling this Lions offense would be up to the task if they have a chance to win the game and they get the ball. So got an important possession here for Carmel. Nice break for the players with this injury. Good chance to regroup. Of course, we hope the St. Viator player is okay. Looks like it's just a cramp. At least we hope that's what it is.
All right. Well, we do see St. Viator's defense rolling back out on the field. Carmel's offense still getting talked to by the coaches, but it looks like they are ready as well. Well, let's get this drive underway. Very important. Win this game is 10-10. On first down.
Yeah.
Just like to see some runs.
That player who was injured was number 81, Ben Whalen, who is a wide receiver for the Lions and has been one of the more popular targets for quarterback Bryce Helgeth. So that could potentially be a big play if the Lions need some receivers late in the game to make a run.
All right.
Ball is on the Carmel 22-yard line. Strutzel takes the snap.
Takes it for himself.
And he picks up decent yardage, about 6 yards down that play.
Nice game there by Strutzel. You know what? They've been successful when he's kept the ball tonight. It's been mixed success across the board when they've handed off to Carmel or tried an outside sweep. Outside sweeps lately have been less successful.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the Corsairs keep pounding it up the middle.
Those can be risky. I mean, when you talk about outside sweeps, it can be a 5-yard tackle for loss, or it can be a home run touchdown all the way down. So
exactly.
Risk slash reward type of play with that one. Strutzel does take the snap.
Oh.
Wow. Gives it to Tariq and immediately tackles.
That was no gain.
Yeah.
It is going to be 3rd down and a long 4 here. And the Corsairs need to get a 1st down here. You don't want to go 3 and out. And the punt team hasn't been great, so you don't want to give the Lions good field position either. But they've been good on 3rd down. I'm confident they're going to get it. It's actually going to be 3rd down and 3 here. They line up in that all-familiar triple option formation.
Right. Strutzel hands it, pitches it to Zaire Barnes. He hits outside and picks up the 1st down.
And there is going to be a flag, late hit on Barnes off the sideline, I believe. That's going to march off another 15 yards. And finally, a call goes the Corsairs' way from the referees.
Something to see here on the field. Out on St. Myers. So that is confirmed. On the football, moving up.
And that is going to be moved
all the way
to the St. Viator 42-yard line. Well, they are cooking now.
They are definitely in range to do some damage. Carmel offense looking rejuvenated on this one. Gets wrapped up in the backfield.
Big play by number 9, Cole Kmet, making the big plays on defense as well as offense.
Wow. A great play.
So 2nd down and 12 here for Carmel. Again, don't need to press the panic button, but points. Gotta get points on this drive. Last drive was literally just a few yards away from being able to kick a field goal. Gotta get points here. A touchdown would obviously be huge.
Obviously. But even a field goal. Humongous. Alright, Miles Camel gets to the outside, but there's a St. Viator player already there. Doesn't quite tackle him, but slows him down, and that's a loss for about 3 or 4.
2 real bad plays here by the Corsairs, not being able to block. It's
and that's what I was talking about on those sweep plays to the outside.
Risky, and the Lions have been sniffing them out here lately. So, well, just under 6 minutes left here. It's gonna be 3rd and 18. I don't know what Carmel. I just expect a run up the middle, trying to get a good punt in, get field position maybe. This is really getting to the nerve-wracking stage of the game. So big plays every play now from now on.
Biggest thing. So does have time. Back to throw.
And although the Lions defender did trip up Shamil Green up, but it was uncatchable, I believe is what the referees would say. So Corsairs are on their own 49-yard line. Man, you got that personal foul penalty off that. You're thinking, and then 2 plays go backwards, missed pass, and now it's going to be punt time.
punts it away for the Corsairs.
All right.
Now remember, the Lions did block a punt earlier in the first half.
Gets it. He's got some time.
He's got a lot of time
A
to...
little bit to the right. Ryan Muglin with a great punt. It is able to be... Oh no. Oh, that's a great tackle.
You know, the Corsairs had 3 players who missed a tackle there. That almost broke into a catastrophic special teams play. But nonetheless, they'll start. St. Viator will start on their own 28-yard line, about where they've started the last time. Again, this Corsair defense gonna have to come up quick because you're not gonna have a lot of time when you get the ball back, and Carmel needs a lot of time to score with their style of offense.
Yep. Force some turnovers, great field position, anything like that to aid
Clearly blew it.
offense.
Called it right away.
On that return play, by the way, Trey Resetich with a great tackle on Leontae Jackson.
Oh, and actually,
Right.
now that we're looking back and listening to our counterparts here on the radio, the Lions receiver, whoever was receiving that punt, waved for a fair catch, then caught the ball and ran it upfield. The ball did bounce first, though. I'm not sure what the rule is on that, but he definitely waved for a fair catch. So the refs are talking it over right now to see where the ball should be placed. He caught it around the 18-yard line, so that's a difference of about 10 yards. And there is the penalty from the referees.
So a good catch by the Carmel coaching staff and the...
Yes, that was Coach Andy Bitto getting out there and letting the referees know, pointing it out, and they're exactly right. He waved for that fair catch, so this is exactly the right call. Luckily, the last 2 flags have gone Carmel's way, so the Lions are backed up to the Corsair student section, and it's loud.
It's loud. 25 days looking at the crowd, telling them to get hype, and these stands are rumbling. So, Carmel defense, we'll see if they can stop them here. Get that offense back out on the field.
Just heard a fan say, come on boys, play smart, and that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
No big plays. Can't allow some receiver to get wide open or some big run to break out, which they have not done so far. I am very impressed, but gotta always keep your guard up here.
Especially on those big plays. Now we see Leontae Jackson picks up a decent gain.
Would have liked to have seen the Corsairs make a stop a little earlier there. The St. Viator's backed up to their own end zone, so they feel a little bit of pressure. Can't pass, especially when you're that close. But good game there by the Lions, so it's going to be 2nd and 4. Just under 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Tension is building, folks.
Right, St. Viator takes a snap. Is it off the catch? Leontae Jackson, but the fumble is out.
Carmel says they have it.
We'll see what the call is, but it definitely was a
Oh, this stadium's going to erupt if we have the ball. Oh, and St. Viator got the ball.
Able to recover the
Wow. Would that have been a play?
Wow.
Oh, would that have been a play?
A great hit right on the...
Wow.
As soon as he got the ball, I didn't really expect the hit to be there that fast.
3rd down and 8 now.
Great play that would have been insane. That would have been a great
That would have
play.
been insane.
Yeah. But
Yeah, we're at 4 minutes here now. 3rd down and 8. They're going to pass.
pass, he slings it down the left side of the field.
And yes, great coverage by the Corsairs.
Coming out of number 44, I believe. That's
Yes,
Joel
it is.
Hara.
Great coverage. He's been great all year.
All game, secondary for Carmel.
And you know what? Joel could have made that interception. I know him. He dropped the ball because he knows Corsairs are probably going to get better field position off a punt or potentially block punt here. Real smart play by Joel. I am very impressed. Carmel is going to have great field position here. This is exciting, Will. Under 4 minutes, they can control the clock.
Very excited. Ryan Julian is back to receive.
Short punt.
Punt. Ryan Julian does take it, and it's off.
Ryan Julian is tied up a little bit.
And he is only to pick up a couple of yards.
Taken down.
It's okay. They're going to start in St. Viator territory on the 44-yard line. 3 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the half. Now remember, both teams have all 3 timeouts, so it shouldn't be an issue. St. Viator will get the ball back regardless of what the Corsairs do here, I believe. So
with this field position, with this momentum, Carmel needs to at least get a field goal on.
Oh, at least. They have been in St. Viator territory 3 times here and have come away with 0 points those 3 times. So
Strutzel takes it himself for a couple of yards, a decent gain.
About 3 yards. It's going to be at the 40-yard line. 2nd and 7. Good play. Again, we're grinding out. Clock is winding down. And again, what the Corsairs want to do here, if they don't score, take as much time off the clock as possible. But again, I don't think anyone wants this game to go to overtime. You want this game over with, especially with how well the Corsairs have played here in the second half. You want this game to be over.
Yep. All right, Strutzel takes the snap. Hands it off to Tariq Abrams.
There is a penalty on the play. I believe it's going to be a false start on the Corsairs, and it is.
Carmel Corsairs, and that's wrong. That's wrong.
Tough penalty. It's going to be second and...
That's going to set a bar back.
2nd and 12. Man. These penalties are really setting the Corsairs back. Some through their own fault.
Yeah.
Some questionable calls, but again, you got to take what you got.
Yeah.
Because they're closing down on the pitches pretty quickly.
Yeah, you just think about that hold on the touchdown run by Barnes. Yeah. They seem to be piling up.
So penalties really killing Carmel in this game.
But killing St. Viator at the in this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They had the 15-yard personal foul on defense, which, lucky for them, did not turn into points. And then they had a one on offense. I'm not sure when, but regardless, 2nd down and 12 here for Carmel. Fumble.
Desire points, but he's able to recover the fumble. Very scary stuff.
Oh boy,
Offense.
and all of the sudden, you get the ball on the 44-yard line. It's 2nd and 7 on the 40, and now you're going to be at about 3rd and 20
at your own 47-yard line. So
man, they're getting great field position, but it seems like around the 45-yard line of St. Viator, they go backwards.
yeah. Great play out of Carmel defense in the second half, but offense not able to get a lot going here in this late stretch. Strutzel takes it himself to the right side of the field for a decent gain, but
It's going to be
3rd and 20.
Yeah, that's not enough. It's going to be he's going to be about 11 yards short. What do the Corsairs do here? You would think punt. There are 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the half in the game, and it's going to be a punt. Smart play. You don't want anything crazy to happen here.
And definitely, I think it's smart to trust this defense right now, how they're looking in the second half.
Smart, but you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Careful. Corsairs are not going to get the ball back now, I don't think. And that was almost a blocked kick. Fair catch at the...
And then he
does not run this one. Fair catch at the 14-yard line, so deep in their own zone. Minute 58 seconds left on the clock. Again, St. Viator has all 3 of their timeouts. The clock should not be an issue for them. But, unfortunately, with how well this Corsair team has played in the second half, it's going to come down to the defense and not the offense having to come up with a stop instead of scoring points.
That's true.
So, what do you think is coming from St. Viator here? You think they're going to start throwing down the field again?
Maybe.
Run the ball?
You do see him in the shotgun. It is a pitch play to Leonte Jackson, who has room to run. Finally tackles it down at about the 25-yard line. And that moves the chains.
Real big gain. You don't want that. Clock stops when the chains are moved. St. Viator is running in the hurry-up. Corsairs look a little confused, but then again, so do the Lions.
First and 10.
This play is not coming in quickly at all. Here we go. Lions are lined up in the shotgun. Quarterback taker.
And he is tackling.
Great play. Great play.
Anyone on that Carmel defense.
Lions will use their first time out of the half.
And that is 1 minute and 24 seconds left on the clock. And at this point, is it time to start thinking about overtime?
You don't want to get that far. There is 1 minute and 24 seconds with a really good quarterback, with a crew of tall, big receivers. You don't want to take anything for granted. But at this point, it looks like it's going to come down to that.
Yeah. Now, there's an interesting question. If, because that was a good stop by Carmel on that first down. If they get another good stop, do you think Carmel takes a timeout?
No. Correction. I think they might. I would not if I was the head coach. I would let, you know what, it's either St. Viator is going to win the game at this point or it's going to overtime.
Okay.
I am not trying to stop the clock. They just have too many weapons on offense. It's too risky. So
Fair enough, and that is exactly what I would do as well. We'll see if that's their game plan. But
defense still has work to do.
it's always better to play to win than not to lose. So, we will see Carmel, see if they can get anything going. They do have 3 people, a lot in the secondary. It is a pass play out to Mark Clark, who shed the tackle on the outside. But is able to get outside to stop the clock.
And big play, first down. Good route there by Mark Clark. He's dropped 2 passes, was wide open on that one and made the catch, which I'm sure his coaches are happy about. And here is where you start to get a little jitters if you're a Carmel fan. It's now first and 10.
They're moving the
On
ball.
the St. Viator 40-yard line. Corsairs could be a little tired here on defense with this hurry up.
The short offensive possessions, it is not great for the Carmel defense. Not a lot of pressure coming out of him.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Sideline, and that is a touchdown for St. And that is a shot.
I don't even know what to say.
They almost hit him for a big sack in the backfield, and then he flipped it over the...
Deontay Jackson able to shed a tackle and break it loose all the way down the sideline. And everybody up in the box over his head.
This is exactly what I was afraid of. Corsairs, no one, even the Lions, wouldn't, even the Lions would say, Corsairs outplayed them by far in the second half, offense and defense. They were in Lions territory on every possession, threatening to score. Got stopped. The defense, numerous 3-and-outs, deep in St. Viator's own territory. Carmel won the half. One big play. One big play is all it took. And now...
We were talking about that one big play is all it took.
Exactly. And you know what? I find it hard to believe that Carmel's defensive coordinator did not tell them before they went out, no big plays. And look what they do.
And I think that comes down to what you were saying about just exhaustion, being tired.
Yeah, because St. Viator went a little bit hurry up.
You know, you might get a little lazy and be like, oh, that guy's got the tackle. He just pushed him out of bounds. And it just didn't work out like that. We'll see if Carmel offense does have a minute, 6 seconds to work with.
3 timeouts, but yeah, I'm finding it tough on how they're going to get up.
Yeah.
And find a way to pull this one out, especially without a passing game.
Yeah.
This is
something you can't let up. Squib is off. Squib is off. Miles Chamel is able to recover. Does break
Chamel.
He goes to the right outside.
Okay. All right.
A good return all the way out to about the 44-yard line.
All right. 59.6 seconds left. 3 timeouts.
Okay.
Not impossible. And you know what? You don't even have to necessarily pass the ball. But your running plays need to be big running plays. You can't take a sack right now. These are the things that have to be going through the mind of the coaching staff and quarterback Jeremy Strutzel.
Yeah. A lot of pressure on Jeremy Stutzel right now.
A lot. And you start thinking about the season.
Oh.
Both teams are 2-2.
All you got to do is focus on the game at hand.
You really do. A pass.
Takes the snap, passes it out to Sneal Creed. Almost able to break the tackle. The tackle made, though.
And Carmel is not taking a timeout.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are doing. This is a questionable call here.
Jeremy Stutzel with the pass.
And the game's over. Game is over. Interception.
Number 5, Wilson Starr with the interception.
That was a pathetic pass. A pathetic pass by Jeremy Strutzel. I don't know what he was doing there.
It wasn't great. It was good defense down the stretch. In that entire fourth quarter, St. Viator was playing great defense, but I don't know. With the momentum they had, you can't help but feel like Carmel should have won this game.
Yeah. This is, dejecting to say the least. Wow.
Everything it just comes down to.
No one saw this coming either.
Miracles have happened in sports before, folks.
We'll see.
Our counterparts are a little optimistic here. They have a point. There are 34.5 seconds left. Carmel has all 3 timeouts. So, St. Viator can't kneel for 3 plays because then Carmel gets the ball back. Not sure what they could do with it, even if they get it back. But, if they run the ball now, which I assume they will, a fumble, maybe, becomes a possibility.
But I think, the one thing the coaching staff is going to tell
they're the right back.
2 hands.
2 hands on the football.
3 hands if possible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On the ball.
Yeah. I don't expect a fumble, but, stranger things have happened. This is can be an intimidating environment.
Yeah.
So maybe quarterback gets a little jittery. A lot of adrenaline running after the past few plays.
Not a lot from Carmel's fan. In this situation.
In the past, how many minutes has it been? In the past 15 minutes, this has gone from Carmel dominant, looking like a tight but comfortable win on homecoming, and all of the sudden,
one big play.
One big play.
St. Viator stagnant. Their offense for that entire second half stagnant.
Yeah. And you know what? Going back to that touchdown pass, Carmel covered it well.
Yeah.
They covered it well, but the cornerback for Carmel was a few inches shorter than the receiver, came right over the top. I don't know why there wasn't anyone behind to make the tackle. I'm sure they're going to be
blocking downfield, but
maybe, but either way.
I don't know. And we also talk about players being tired towards the end of the game, maybe not. And that's a moment where I'm sure the players gave their all, but
and I can see Rondell Jameson sitting down there on the bench in his booth. He's got to be thinking, what if? What if I had been in there? What if?
So St. Viator wanting this one out.
What's really important.
A couple of yards on that one. Carmel takes their second timeout. Takeaways from this game. Carmel's defense looking great again.
Real solid. You really only gave. You gave up 17 points.
Yeah.
But only one big play. A red zone stop. Positive things coming from this Corsair defense. Lots of improvement. There weren't really any injuries tonight for the Corsairs to speak of, so they'll return a healthy squad next week. They do have another home game. It's going to be against Notre Dame.
Oof, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, we've had mixed success against the Dons.
I am the oldest out of two, beautifully numbered.
But, if you're looking at playoffs here, with a loss, Carmel goes to 2-3. They're going to have to finish the season out 3-1 with 3 road games and 1 home. Tough game. Their road games are against Marion Central, St. Patrick, and Bennett. Again, these East Suburban games are all toss-ups. On any given week, any team can win. So it is not at all impossible. And the Lions did just seal the game. They got a first down. And an upset. Carmel believed they could win tonight. I think they were the better team for most of the night. But coming out...
I mean, obviously, with the homecoming, everything, playoff implications, like you said, a heartbreaking loss.
It stings. It stings for the Corsairs. But positives. Jeremy Strutzel looked very good at quarterback, comfortable, getting a lot of yards. Tramill had a few good plays. Special teams continues to be. They were strong today. Teams are shaking hands. Yeah, so we'll see next week against St. Pat's Notre Dame. Notre Dame. What Carmel can come up with.
Game of the week at WSFI.
It's going to be tough. Well, tough score, but happy homecoming to all the Corsairs here. Any alumni who are listening, we hope you enjoyed the game. I know it wasn't the result we were hoping for, but
a good game nonetheless.
Good game. Great to see the people come out and support this team. Should be a fun dance tomorrow night for the students here at Carmel. I'll be looking forward to seeing you there. And we'll be back with you next week. Same time, same place for the Carmel Corsairs against the Notre Dame Dons.
Hopefully they can pick up that win.
Yes, that would be, you'd have to think an almost must-win for the Corsairs. Well, that's going to do it for us, for me and my partner. We've enjoyed being with you for